What's going on, everybody? I also want to make a quick video today about some books that have helped me out. I started my reading, honestly, kind of late in life. I used to hate reading. I know most of you probably do too. I basically can't read novels. I don't like reading stories. I think TV and movie ruined that for me. I got rid of TV a long time ago, and about 2010, and I recently just got it again. I don't really watch it, but I have it. I got rid of it because it was a distraction. I felt like sitting in front of that TV, you're only limited to so many channels, and all those channels don't really have any choices. I mean, how many times have you flipped through the TV and, you know, channel after channel after channel, you got like 300 channels or more, and you can't find anything to watch? I basically did that, and started realizing that all this stuff is like has to be approved to be put on. And if I want to get some education, I want to be entertained, if I want to seek out what I want, I can do it pretty much online. The other issue was I told myself I was only going to watch TV when I'm eating, which turned into me sitting there after I finished eating like a zombie staring at the TV. It's a big distraction. I forget who said it, but there was a funny quote. Some guy, it's like a famous man too, and I forget his name. He said he loves TV. Every time someone turns it on, he goes in the other room to read. Anyways, moving on. So I started to read, and the main reason why I started to read was I wanted to make a change in my life. My favorite quote that I've ever heard is, "For things to change, you need to change." And that quote was given to a guy named Jim Rohn, and it was given to him by his mentor, Earl Shoaff, who was also known as the Millionaire maker. Basically, I stumbled upon all this stuff, just looking to change something about my life. I wanted more. I know I was capable of more, but I didn't know what to do. Sometimes we don't feel like, we know, or like, what am I supposed to do? What's next? And the best thing is just to be yourself, man. And if you don't feel happy in your situation, go do what you gotta do. Seek it out, and don't let the opinions of others get in the way of it. I've let the opinions of others, kind of get in my head when I was younger, to what you should do and what you shouldn't do, and what you want to do and what's cool. And I said, screw that. I started doing my own thing, and live life on my terms. I got one life, so it's on my terms. If you don't like it, then I don't know what to tell you. It's my choice, So I started looking into books, and a friend of mine had a book sitting in his room that he didn't read. And this was my first book that I read that started to change things for me. And it's Secrets of the Millionaire Mind. Here, the author. T. Harv Eker. This one's really beat up. I've had this one for a long time, since 2008, I think. But this book really started to change things for me. I think this is good if you're not a big reader, because I'm telling you, I couldn't hold my focus, and I knew I was gonna have to do something differently. And I didn't read these books. I thought they were stupid. I thought the only way to make money is, just go to college, work hard, or whatever. But the deal is that this book tells you, and it's true, what it tells you. It tells you it's in your mind. It's your financial blueprint. That's how he refers to it, as a financial blueprint. Basically going in and saying, the way you think about money determines how much money you're going to have. If you grew up and had a bad financial blueprint, then you're never going to have money. Why a lot of people win the lottery and they go bankrupt. It makes no sense. Why people like Donald Trump can go bankrupt and make it all back. He had his financial blueprint was set for billions too. It wasn't set for millions. There's people out there that have a financial blueprint set for $100,000 a year, and that's fine. That's fine if you want to make $100,000 a year. But do you think Bill Gates would be happy if he made $100,000 a year? Probably not. You think he'd be happy if he made like $10 million a year? No. The guy's financial blueprint is set for billions. If he made $200 million a year, he would be depressed. He wouldn't feel right. So what this book does is teaches you how to change your financial blueprint and how to think, bigger. Think more abundance in a way. But it's not strange. It's not a strange book. And when I say that, I'll let you know in the next books to come. It's very factual. It goes into a lot of psychology. You got highlights in here and shit. They give you these little wealth principles. For instance, you can choose to think in ways that will support you and your happiness and success instead of ways that don't. Wealth file number 2. Rich people play the money game to win. Poor people play the money game not to lose. And it's true. When you're going to invest money, sometimes you're worried about, losing it. Rich people throw that money in there to make it. They're not thinking about losing. Rich people focus on opportunities. Poor people focus on obstacles. There's so many things that all it does is change your way of thinking, but with factual ways. That's all it does. It doesn't get too strange. It just kind of tweaks your thinking to where you're like, oh, I never thought of it like that. So this is the one that got me started, and I really recommend it. I didn't experiment with it. I followed the rules. I did it for a while, and I'm not going to lie to you, I started making the most money I've ever made in my life at one point with this, after reading this book and applying the principles. The only issue is that if you don't keep up with this stuff, if you don't keep up in here, you're going to go back to your old ways. Me personally, I went on a cruise at the time after I was killing it, hustling, so much money, doing things I never used to do because of this. Just doing things differently. So much money was coming to me. And I went on a little vacation, right? When I went on this vacation, on this cruise, I was a lot of people like to have fun. Nothing wrong with that. But I got set into fun mode again. When I came back, I just wanted to have fun. I was relaxing, and I got lazy. It's like I needed a vacation from my vacation. And I stopped reading this book, because I was reading it every day, like keeping it in my mind. But I stopped practicing the principles and went back to my old ways. And it wasn't good. A lot of crazy things happened at the time that I didn't use my proper financial blueprint, my new one. I went back to my old ways. So always make sure you keep reading these books and you keep your mental fortitude and you stay on point. That's why it's very good to write a list down, to stay and to keep reading these books, is to keep it in your head. Because not a lot of people think like this. Remember, there's the 1% out there that are billionaires. And you need to think like them. You need to have that mindset. And when you're surrounded by people that are not, rich and not where you want to be in life, and their thoughts and their, reasoning and their opinions will always come out to you on the TV, everything. When you go out to eat, when you're hanging out with your friends, the waiters, the people ordering at the restaurant, the people at the gym, all their belief system is getting pushed into your head, whether you realize it or not. They might say one thing, another person says another thing, you might think nothing of it, but it's getting locked in your head. And you need to either put up some mental walls and have good mental fortitude, or you need to keep plugging this in, or you're going to fail. Because if you ever notice, you do become the average of the 5 people you hang around. You can't help it. Anyways, I'm going to go on to the next book. So after I read that one, the next book I actually read was The Richest Man in Babylon. And this is the best thing about this book, probably why I read it. It is absolutely short as hell. It was kind of hard for me to read this one because it's in story mode. But seeing that it was so short, it was like 100 pages, I got through it. Now what this does is actually gives you actual principles on how to handle your money. It's principles, okay? That, what to do with your money, live off of 70%. A lot of people live off 100%. There's another book, but I'm not going to talk about it, but you might know about it. They talk about the rat race. You make $100,000 a year, you spend $100,000 a year. And say I was your boss, and you made $100,000 a year, and you lived comfortably. If I said, okay, we're going to give you a raise, double your pay, now you have 200 grand a year. Most people, what they do is now they're going to change their lifestyle so they live off of 200 grand a year. That means they bought a bigger house, they buy a better car, and all the money they make, they're just spending again. And that goes back to this, your financial blueprint. Is your financial blueprint to spend every single dollar that you make? Is that what your financial blueprint is set? Or is your financial blueprint to spend only 50% of what you make and to invest 25% of the other half, and then invest 25% into savings? Save 25, live off 50, and invest 25. I mean, what's your financial blueprint? What is it, and how can you fix it? You need to understand it first. This gives you some principles on an ideal financial blueprint, let's say. Very short, and it's in story mode. The Richest Man in Babylon. It's a really good read. It's quick. So I read those two. It helped a lot. And I wanted to know why this stuff worked. Which led me to this book, Think and Grow Rich. Now you're like, how many books does he need? Well, when I used these books and it worked, I kind of wanted to know why it was working, and maybe someone else has some different insight. Remember when I said this was the book that was not weird? This got a little weird. There's some stuff in here that is just strange to me. It's kind of mystical, and Napoleon Hill actually wrote this, was it 1927 or something? And this is probably one of the best books that you could ever read. It has helped so many people and paved the way for books like this. But the thing about it, it's not straightforward in the way that this is. This is easier to read for your first one. This says there's a secret in the book, and when you discover it, you'll figure it out. He gives you some things to do. His big quote is, whatever thought a man can conceive and believe, he can achieve. So whatever you can think about and believe that it's possible, you can do. That's his big quote. And it gives some stuff in here that gets strange, like sexual transmutation with energy and the power of emotions. When I say sexual transmutation, the way I see it is this. You're horny as fuck, right? And you're all horned up. And you want to get, like, say you want to hook up with a girl, and you're like, it makes you go crazy, you're like, oh, I want that so bad. And when you're growing up, going through puberty, you want to get that car, you want to do all these things to impress those girls, and get a girl. You think if you get money, you impress her. You see what's happening? It's that driving force of money. A driving force that motivates you to, if it's to work out or to, make cash or get that nice car. A lot of that motivation for most people comes from sexual energy attracting the opposite sex. And if you waste that energy by having sex, by jerking it out, you're not going to have that motivation. You lose it. That's what he's talking about. He says transmute it. So I'm horny, like I want to get this girl. I'm like, I'm all riled up. And I say, you know what? If I'm gonna get her, I need to make $1 million first. And every day when I'm working for that $1 million, I'm like, as soon as I make that $1 million, I'm gonna get what I want. I know this is a little absurd, but you need to understand, if you really wanted something, that desire of wanting that girl so bad, wishing you had her, grab. This, I know it's getting weird. It's just to show you an example, but that desire is a strong, powerful, motivating energy. And he's telling you to use that same energy, but on something productive. Not on, I'm angry at you, I'm going to destroy some. You can do it with any energy, not just sexual. If you get pissed off and you want to destroy something, smash something, you can go to the gym, work out, productive. Get the energy out a different way, transmute it. That was one of the biggest things I got from this book that I didn't get from other books. Didn't have it. This has all the other basics. It gives you some good steps, writing things down, goals, all of that auto-suggestion. It gives you so many examples. It's really old, so it talks about Henry Ford and Thomas Edison, desire, everything. So that was my third recommendation. that kind of pulled me into things like this. Another small read. I can go to the pool and read this whole thing. It's As a Man Thinketh by James Allen, and Inspired the Secret. And it goes back to the same, what I've been talking about. What you think about, you become. Like the Bible, you reap what you sow. But I've had numerous examples where I told someone I was dating this girl one time, and she was really pissed off. One day, I came into the gym, all grumpy. Some girl walked by her. I saw it a different way. The girl was like, walked by, and she's like, what the fuck is she looking at? All freaking pissed off. And I go, hold on a second. I go, what's wrong with you? You know? But she was just in a shit-eating mood. I go, let me ask you a question. If you just won $100 million before you came in here, okay, would you be acting like this? She was like, no, I'd be happy. And I'm like, and if that girl still walked by you and she give you a look, would you care? She goes, no, what do I care? I fucking got $100 million. I'm like, exactly. I was like, but you actually didn't even get the money yet. You were just told you won $100 million. You didn't receive it yet. Nothing physical has happened yet, but your thoughts have changed. And your thought changed the whole outcome of your day. Now when this girl looks at you, maybe you not be like, what the fuck's she looking? You might be like, hey, what's up? Hey. And that girl might be like, hey. And they start talking. And that just is like a domino effect, just changes your life. So even though you might not believe in the law of attraction or whatever, your thoughts really mold your life. The way you're thinking, thoughts thoughts create feelings that lead to actions, and your actions create everything around you, and what you do and what you don't do, the way you handle situations. And it all comes from your thoughts. So control your thoughts. Good one. Now, this is the last one, and I haven't gotten through this book completely, but I've read, you can see my books right there. I need to get a bookshelf. This is my office. It's not completely done yet, but that's just some of my books. A lot of them I have on Kindle, on the reader, and I have trouble lately getting through them. I have been having trouble focusing on them. I've been busy with some other things, but I need to spend some time to sit down and read. I mean, there should be no excuse. A lot of time I read before bed, but as I was saying, like, I read a lot of these books, and I got really into the thinking aspect. But a lot of it uses examples from the Bible, and a lot of it is real mystical shit. And unfortunately, I question it sometimes. Well, I did. I don't question it anymore because I've tested it, and it's worked. And you know, if you wanted boiled water, and I taught you how to boil water, and forgive me on this analogy too, I usually pretty good with these, but sometimes they're just absurd, but here we go. And I'm coming off the top of the head, it's like freestyle analogy. But if you wanted boiled water, okay, and I said, I'll teach you how to boil water. You have to put a pot on a fire filled with water, and the mystical gods are going to make that water heat up and make it boil. You could be like, what? The mystical gods make this boil? The fires? What the? I don't believe in that. It doesn't matter if you believe in it or not. The fact is, you put a pot full of water on a fire and it boils, and that's what you wanted. So I don't care if like this stuff is like spiritual, if what it is, where it's coming from. Law of attraction, mystical, God has given us secret power. The fact is that I just want the end result. So all these mystical books, I did what they said, and it happened. And I used to question it so much. Why? Because I couldn't accept it. I needed to know. And now I'm saying nowadays, it just, what's the most important thing? Sometimes it's the result. But this is what I'm telling you about this. This book, the new Psychocybernetics, or you can get the old one, Psychocybernetics by Maxwell Maltz, okay? I had not finished this book. But all the things that I've been telling you, where I've heard from other people, and other books, and weird books, and spiritual books, and people analyzing the Bible, all these things about visualization, okay? This book is pure psychology. This is pure psychology. This tells you how to achieve in everything you want in life as well. But they don't say, as a man thinketh, that's it. They tell you the reason why, psychologically. They tell you examples and studies they've done and things that have happened to like sports psychiatrists. I mean, a baseball player gets hit by a pitch. After he gets hit by a pitch, he cannot bat anymore. He maybe got really injured. So he goes up to bat, and what's going through his head every time? I hope I don't get hit by a pitch. That's all he's focusing on. He can't focus on hitting. He has to go to a psychologist, and the psychologist got to tell him to close his eyes and visualize hitting home runs, visualize practice every day, until he goes up there and he's like, I visioned this so many times. He knows what's going on, and he stops thinking about getting hit by a pitch. And then he starts to, improve and everything, and he's good again. He can bat again. They did a study in this book, and they talked about it, where they took 3 groups, and 3 groups, none of them golfed. Group 1 should they assessed everyone too, how good they were at their drive. And group 1, they told to practice every day, golfing every day, okay? Group 2, no practice, just visualize yourself golfing. So practice in your head for 30 minutes every day, And the group 1 physically did it, the group 2 did it in just their head. Picture themselves swinging in first person every day. And then group 3 did nothing, okay? At the end of like 10 weeks or whatever the study was, the group that actually practiced improved the most, which is obvious. The group that didn't practice or visualize didn't improve, which is normal, you would think. But the crazy thing is the group that visualized themselves, didn't physically practice, just visualized it, and visualized them doing better, actually improved almost as much as the first group that actually practiced. So imagine if you really practiced and you visualized it. There's something about this visualization that does something to your brain. And that's the part that they don't understand, the subconscious mind or whatever. But this book is just, I can't wait to get through it again. You can install habits and change patterns and really reprogram your brain. And for success, not just in money, but in life. So that's one of my recommendations. How many books we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. So that was like my 5 recommendations for you guys. You know what? I'll put a link in the description box too, because if you are looking to improve yourself, which I hope you guys are, these books help me out, and I know they'll help you out. And for me personally, I need to read them again. You should save books, keep reading them. But I'm going to put a link for these books in the description. If you buy it from there, obviously, oh crap, my monitor just did that thing again. Crap. Okay. Anyways, it will help me out, obviously, if you do buy it and you buy it off the link. I get like an affiliate thing, and then I can buy myself more books. So that's going to be it for my book recommendation. It's going to be book recommendations. I'm going to do 5 books every time, and every time I pass the room. So here they are. Enjoy them. If you don't follow me on Instagram, my Instagram name is The Muscle Nerd. Follow me there. There's a lot of fake accounts of me, not me. Only here, the Facebook that's linked in this YouTube profile, and The Muscle Nerd on Instagram. That's it. Thanks everybody for all the support. I'm still working on Muscle Nerd clothing line and other things. And maybe if I read one of these books, maybe I'll get on it. That will be it for now. I enjoy this. One day I hope to have my own gym and home thing going on. I'll tell you one quick thing real quick. If you made it this far in the video, not everyone will, because it's not a lot of people are into this stuff. But my end game, I'll let you know right now, is I want to be like a motivational speaker in a way. But the thing is I don't want to be your motivation. I just want you to listen, and I want to alter your brain, your thought process, by telling you things and teaching you things that maybe you never thought about, or changing your point of view. And I want that to create the seed that makes you self-motivated, you know? Because motivation only lasts so much. That quote, motivation doesn't last. That's why they recommended you to do it daily, like showering or something like that. Or what is it? Motivation doesn't last. Well, neither does staying clean. That's why we recommend showering daily or something like that. I don't know. But you know what really lasts is you taking full responsibility and being self-motivated. I can only motivate you so much. It's going to take you to self-motivate yourself. So my end game is to do that. And I was like, man, I can't do it until I'm filthy rich, right? Bitch, by the way, filthy rich. You'll learn about that in here. You shouldn't say filthy rich. We have this persona that money's filthy. Then you don't. Anyways, read about it. But I was like, man, you know what? One of the things that I've learned is you live as if it's already true. And I wanted to wait to help people. But, you know, if I live like I already am successful and already rich, then I can help people now. So that's made me like make these videos and made me, you know, do more. I'm acting like I'm already there, and being already there will make it naturally come true and make it happen. That's the ultimate way it works. Believe it in or fake it till you make it, you know. But this is my way to get out there and help people as best I can. I've been helped before in life, and people still help me. It's weird. There'll be people out there that will end up helping you that you don't even know, and it's just weird how things work out, because there's times when I needed some help and I don't want to ask for it, and help just comes. And maybe one of you people right now, one of you guys are needing help, needing some motivation, needing a change in life, and you don't know what to do or where to turn, and you just stumbled on this video and you're like, man, listen to this guy, and you know, and look at these books, and you know what, maybe I'm going to do that, maybe I'll make a difference, maybe I'm going to make a change. And it's just weird how these things happen. So if I can help you out, and if any of this did, man, I am happy. I get the most pleasure out of helping other people. When you help others, you help yourself. So I'll see you guys. Check out the books. Follow me on Instagram. Link. Also, you guys know, I have to do this. I have to do this. Oh yeah. I'm shape. I have to do this though. You remember, you want to have nice clear skin? This is the new product. We originally sent out, I have to make a video on this soon, man, because this stuff is so fucking good. I wish you could smell it. I've got someone here on YouTube that has bought like 10 of these already. But we originally were sending out like not a great version. The product was great, but it wasn't pretty like this. This is like legit now, you know? So if you haven't tried it, it's a coffee-based body scrub. Keeps you lubricated, keeps your skin looking nice, keeps you smelling good, keeps you feeling good, keeps you clean, gets rid of that acne. The website is www.baybodyscrub.com, and if you use nerd10, you get a discount, 10% off, and I'll personally send it out myself. But I had to do it, guys. I really like this product. I really believe in it, and it helps me out and helps everyone out. Helps your skin. If you don't have bad skin and you don't like scrubs, then don't get it. Yeah, if you don't need a scrub, don't get it. If you want nice skin, get it. But that's all, guys. I'll see you guys soon. This has been a 30-minute rambling. I hope you guys made it this whole way. And let me know if you want more videos like this. And there'll still be some physique ones, of course. And training and dieting and blah, 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 blah. Alright, take care.